Okay, before we start the question answer round, just a quick rule. Nobody's to mob Chetan when he walks off stage in this hall. You can mob him outside. Huh? That's absolutely okay. And short questions. If you have a very interesting question, you can really wave a hand like this. If you have a normal question, then you can just raise it like this. Okay, so we'll start with that. But before that, Chetan, one fact that you mentioned wrong in your speech, misguiding the audience here. What? There was a star kid in the movie.
Who?
Your kid. Where is he?
Yes.
Where is he? Ishan?
Ishan.
Say hi to everybody.
Yeah.
How was it like having your son in the movie?
Yeah. Well, I don't think we called the star kid, but it was a cameo which was not advertised at all. In fact, we didn't want to reveal it because it was such a realistic film, you know, to announce before or things like that. Do you remember him from Kai Poche? For those, Ishan, can you stand up again, please? And you can see him on screen now. Can the screen go to? Yeah, remember that little kid in the end who gives the flag? Govind's son in the end. So it was just a short, and you know, it came about because the director and I, we were just talking about cameos and how I could do a cameo. Okay. And I was supposed to be one of the guys at Kendriya Vidyalaya who checks, who approves their sports budget or whatever. But then, you know, again, that thing came that the film was being made so realistic that it would look like a gimmick. But he needed an 8-year-old boy. And I said, I have an 8-year-old boy. I have two actually. I have twins. Sham is also there. And his name is Ishan. And the name of the boy, Ishan, in 3 Mistakes of My Life came because of my son's name. Which then when it became a movie, Sushant's name became Ishan because of this little Ishan. And in the movie, again, there was a new son born, and that was again this Ishan. So I just felt it would be a really nice closure to that. And it was amazing to go on the sets and be the father, and not just go as a writer. Because then I really was about, you know, juice hai aapke paas? Baba ko juice pilao, and things like that. I could really see myself becoming all protective and things like that. That scene was shot at 3 in the night. Because it just takes a long time. It was D.Y. Patil Stadium, it was a stadium scene, and he's such a perfectionist director. There are 5 camera angles in that scene. So he has to do that 5 times, and there were 7 takes each time. So 35 times he had to lift the flag and say, "Ye Omi Mama hai." The flag is the flag. So it's quite something. Yeah.
Okay, you talked a lot about good mistakes, bad mistakes. What I would like to know from you is that are you still making mistakes? And would you be comfortable in admitting to those mistakes? Because somewhere down the line, the training that we have is that it's not good to comment on mistakes. Today you're very comfortable because all is well for you. Yeah. And you can look back at those mistakes. Yeah. Would you admit to a mistake, or would you tell kids here to admit to a mistake when they are down in the dumps with the mistake?
Yeah, I think so. I agree that it's easier for me because it's all part of the story now. But, you know, keeping... firstly, learn the classification between good mistake and bad mistake. I think it's always better to admit. Because you keep it in your head, keep it in your heart, it will kill you from inside. It will start destroying you from inside. It's better to come to terms with it and say, you know what, I screwed up. These were just, you know, big examples. Because all you guys don't know me personally. So I can't give you small examples of things that happen. For example, any script we write, there are times when I screw up on a scene and then people say, what have you done? And then I have to say, you know what, I messed up, I'm sorry. And it's better. Even Steve Jobs said this, that whenever you're doing something new, you will make mistakes. The faster you admit to it, the faster you can move on. But it's not considered okay to admit to mistakes. Somewhere down the line, in Indian culture, I have not seen, for example, politicians, they never admit to mistakes. And apparently it's supposed to project a very strong leader. That, you know, anybody who admits to mistakes is a stronger guy. He stands by his actions, he stands by his convictions. But I think that's a little outdated because today, given we have all this social networking, all these public forums available for people to talk, you can't hide mistakes. You can't just present a strong facade and hide mistakes. So that is very important to admit it quickly. The sooner you admit it, it will not go viral on the internet, for example. So therefore, same in if you're not going viral on the internet, in your family, in your friend circle, if you screwed up, in an exam or something, the sooner you admit it, people will stop gossiping about it. And I think it's better to admit there is no human being. It's in our human nature, to make mistakes. Human beings are still evolving, no? It takes millions of years for a species to come. So we are still in the middle, and we make a lot of judgment errors. Doctors make mistakes, patients die because of it. So who are we? I mean, people make mistakes all the time, so admit it, it's better.
You talked about Bollywood, the seduction of Bollywood. I know your wife is sitting here, but what is this seduction? थोड़ा सा detail में बताइए.
Well, I mean seduction of career seduction, not literally seduction by a. That doesn't happen to me because I am not making movies and I'm not casting for movies, and so anybody who comes to me says, "आपकी picture में casting कौन कर रहा है?" So I say, "वो तो director कर रहा है." So then they just say, "Okay, give me the director's number. That's fine." So I am shielded from all that. But I think the seduction really is about. There's an idealization presented to people when they see Bollywood. These are people who speak scripted lines, right? Those lines that you hear on screen are written, edited 20 times. They're delivering the punchlines. They're very good looking. They are rich. They dress in the best clothes. So you start seeing such people and you start thinking, this is what I should become. It's natural. You think that is cool, that is. And it's very hard to escape that and say, you know what, no, it's just a illusion. It's just they're all doing a job, which is to look good. Because I'll tell you, for example, a six-pack. Have you ever had a six-pack?
No.
Come on now.
One pack.
One pack. Done. We all have actually just well hidden.
You are working out these days.
Yeah, so for example, I'll tell you, a six-pack, I know some people who've had six-packs and it looks great and articles written on them. But it is a full-time job to have a six-pack. It is a full-time job, 4 hours in the gym. You cannot eat a proper meal. Like you have to eat non-carbs. Many of them take pills which are bad for you. They may not be banned, but they are just really bad for you. There are pills people take which increase your pulse rate. So you are sitting and your heart is going dub, 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 dub. And he's like, I asked, what will happen? And I think that, no, just your hands will shiver a little bit all day. But, it's okay, it's worth it. And I am telling you, it's so, and then I realized, and then before a photo shoot, any big photo shoot you see in a film magazine, 3 days they don't have salt. 1 or 2 days they don't have water to look that lean. And the moment the photo shoot is over, they are like, let me get my burger or something. They're so hungry. It's not real. And we see it and we think we want to be, and I think the pressure on girls is, for example, even more. They see these girls in beauty magazines and they feel, oh my God, I don't look like this. I'm ugly. You're not ugly. You are just real. And these people are just faking it. And that's not written there, right? That this girl didn't eat for 3 days and she's feeling so hungry inside as she smiles in this designer's dress. They don't say that. So it's that seduction it takes a while to think of those things. And I would also like you to enjoy Bollywood, but don't get so seduced by it that thinks that, oh my God, this is the perfect life. It's not. It's just a very artificial act. It's an act.
Okay, I'll ask you about the rest of the seduction later on.
Yes.
Quick questions for Chetan before we move on to a rapid fire round. Go ahead. Can we have a mic, please?
I am Krishna Thakur from the Institute of Engineering and Management. Sometimes mistakes causes failure, which causes humiliation. If you feel humiliation, you do another mistakes. Sometimes it continues. Have you ever faced humiliation? And if you faced humiliation, how did you overcome it?
Yeah, I face humiliation all the time. But I'll give you an example. When I was in Goldman Sachs, and I didn't get promoted once, and I was with all the, I was only Indian in the group, but all my peers, they all, so 6 of us, 5 got promotion, and 1 guy doesn't get promoted, and it's me, right? And it's so public. I mean, you work with those people every day, and all of a sudden they are senior, and you are the only guy who didn't get it. Somewhere down the line, my boss didn't like me. I didn't like him much either. But that's besides the point. I didn't get promoted, and it was devastating for me. And it had never happened to me. You know, like I had gone to good colleges, and I knew I was smarter than these people, but somewhere down the line, it didn't happen. And I felt very humiliated, and it was hard to even survive in office. And I had the option, either I could become a total drunk alcoholic and drink every night and decide on how. And there was a recession at that time. I couldn't get another job. And that is why I started writing a book. Because I thought ki at least distract myself in some other way. And I will take my revenge on this man. In the office only I'll write. So that was my silent revenge. How many, you're all students, no? Or some of you are working? How many are working? Yes, some of you. Okay. So LBD, and you know, na? Look busy, do nothing. That's what I did to react to it. You know, failure will hurt you. I cannot teach you here not to get hurt by failure. It hurts everybody. You can cry. You can go to your friends, say, I need a hug. Nobody loves me. You can go eat ice cream. Do whatever the hell coping mechanism you have. It will hurt you a lot. No matter what stage of life you're at. The biggest star feels bad when their movies flop. So it's not something that is going to go away. But failure should not make you quit. You know, that much strength you shouldn't give failure. That I'm going to give up. Lot of young people quit because they get failure. They get uncomfortable with those feelings of humiliation. And you know, it's that. I mean, I'll give an example. We did a session with Baba Ramdev, with him only, provoking. And I have nothing against Baba, really. But I did want him to answer a few tough questions about the country. And that video was uploaded on YouTube. And I was baffled. Of course, they're all Baba supporters who claim to be very spiritual people, but are giving curses which are beyond spiritual. Almost they are creating relationships which I don't even know can be created. And I will not go into that. And it was such a reaction. And I was coming from a good place, you know. I was not. And funnily enough, after the session, Baba called me. It was a conclave last year. And Baba called me. I picked up the phone. I didn't have his number. So I said, who is this? He says, it's Baba Ramdev. I said, Baba calls. I mean, I have Baba's number on my phone because of the conclave. And Baba said, come and we want to talk. And I like some of the points you made and come to Haridwar and give me advice and all that. I didn't go. But on YouTube, on those comments are extremely negative. Because the Baba's supporters feel I'm confronting him. So you can call it a mistake, you can call it like I'm getting cursed there. But what I did was that now it means I'm never going to go to these events and they always misinterpret me. No, it's okay. I did my best, and maybe my intention was not to hurt Baba lovers, but they got hurt. And you know, I apologize to them if they felt hurt, but the questions I asked were very simple. I was not making any personal attacks. I never do. So but it was something that I had to suffer for. Like, I mean, a lot of humiliation on that side, but it's okay. So it happens, you know, but it did not make me quit, you know. And ask them how much criticism they used to get as journalists and things like that. They get it every day. I haven't seen one journalist on Twitter who's not trolled. I think if Mahatma Gandhi was on Twitter, he would be trolled. This is the world we live in today. You put Swami Vivekananda on Twitter, he would be trolled. Today these are great, but if they were to express the same views, they would be trolled. If Swami Vivekananda wore that dress and came on Twitter, what he does, people would troll him that you're a saffron guy, this, that, etc.
True.
It's such is the level of cynicism. So, but you don't quit, you know. You just keep going.
You can actually access that video. If you have some time over the weekend.
Yeah, I know, they don't. But
you'll have a great weekend. Huh? Just type Baba Ramdev and Chetan Bhagat. You'll get a great video.
Can you remove those comments? Those comments.
Okay, one more question before. Okay, go ahead.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
This is Shagufta Yasmin.
Okay, we'll take two. We'll take his.
We'll take two, of course. Go ahead.
This is Shagufta Yasmin from C.V. Raman College of Engineering, Bhubaneswar. So, very recently there was a post on your Facebook page that 5 things women should change about themselves.
Yeah.
My question is, as an Indian, who do you think should change first, men or women?
Men only. If you read the whole article, of course men. And if you note that the thing you are referring to, what is written in below, for full column, read this site. So there is a full column which talks really about the things men should change. It talks about, I did that column on Women's Day, and men should respect women better, men should see them as equals, men should just behave themselves, not make a woman feel uncomfortable, not have prejudices against their performance at work. Or there's a whole list in the first half of the article. However, I said, however, it is not that some things even women need to change. For example, one of the points there is they should assert for their property rights. A lot of women emotionally, they just give up their rights in India. And I'm not talking of the uber empowered women in certain sections. I'm talking pan-India. So that's one change I'm asking them to do. So just because someone says change this doesn't mean men are perfect or men don't need to change. But men are very stubborn, their egos are very fragile, they don't listen, right? If I write 5 things men should change, nobody's going to get up and say, I read this. They'll be like, no, we are perfect. But you at least rose and asked, so thank you. But yes, the full article does talk of both genders. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, good afternoon, sir. I would like to ask you, I haven't read books before, but I started with your book only. So people say that Chetan Bhagat has a different followers and other writers have different followers. So how do you actually feel among the writers as yourself? Because some people say if he is reading Chetan Bhagat book, he is a very novice book reader, or he is a very beginners. So I just want to know, is it true, or is it just people want to say something so they are coming out with it?
Yeah, no, I do. A lot more people read me than others. So it's a lot of people read my books and don't read other books. But to say that those are the only people, that's not correct. I mean, it's like most people who read books also read my books, and many people who don't read books read my books. Especially since I've started writing columns, I've had a new readership, which is very intellectual actually. I do write in a simple language, so they are suited for beginners also. But to say that they are only for beginners is not correct. I think a lot of times we want to just read something easy, and I do write easy reads. So that is correct. I mean, that's a factual statement. And that's just the way it is. Now, what is better, a difficult read is better than an easy read, that is a judgment call which I don't think it's fair for people to make. So that's what I feel.
Okay, Padmaja, there are people behind you also. Let me give them a chance, okay?
Just want to tell something. I was just discussing this with my wife yesterday. We were talking about women, and it's something which I've become very interested in, especially since the cases in Delhi and all the women's rights. And it is a very hypocritical society, and I feel it must be quite difficult to be a woman. I used to think I wanted to be a woman because they're so good if they're good looking, they get so much attention. I thought it's so great for them, but actually it's not. I was discussing with my wife, for example, advertising. All the unmarried women are shown as career women, right? They're making presentations, putting deodorant, and they are just putting powder and just putting shampoo and going and winning the boardroom battle. It's very common to see such ads. Now, the moment they have children, they don't show one ad where there is a working woman with children, right? They are only showing women. I just saw an ad yesterday. Tang mein juice hai, tang mein juice hai, and all these women are just so excited. And that's all. All these women are waiting in the park for the kids to finish playing whatever they're playing. And then there's this one woman says, I let them have tang every day because tang mein juice hai. It's dried juice. It doesn't mean anything, but it's fine. That's what they talk about. Now, I want to know at what point do we expect the women to delete that PowerPoint presentation? And just because I agree that both are good roles for women, to be a homemaker and to be working. But this kind of thing, that a woman with kids cannot be shown as a working woman, successful and happy, and it actually bothers me. Maybe that's a Women's Day. You have a women's conference also, no? We can take this up there. But I was just wanted to mention to you that there is a lot of changes we need, It's not just about scolding men. It's so deep-rooted, the biases we have, and we don't realize it. I mean, men, and when my wife told me and I saw those ads, I'm like, you know what? It's right. They never show a working woman in a kids products ad, as if it's like not right. You know. I remember I did a study for Kellogg's a few years back, and long back in my MBA days we did a project. We met Kellogg's also, and the Kellogg's cornflakes were not selling because they were marketing it as quick breakfast. And women don't want to show that they are making quick breakfast and they're lazy. You know, parathe nahi bana rahi baith ke. So they had to say, no, this is good for health, and this has nutrients. So that is why she's giving it, not because it's just put it in a bowl and have it. So it's anyway, sorry.
Two quick questions. One last question.
Sir, one thing I want to ask: what is the difference between Indian success and Western foreign success? Can you please tell me?
Indian success and
Foreign success, apart from Indian success.
क्या फर्क है?
Yes, what's the difference?
भाई जब ताली बजती है तो ब्राउन हाथ बजा रहा हो या व्हाइट हाथ बजा रहा हो, आवाज तो सेम ही आती है. So I don't. My goal is to. I told you, my goal is to reach as many Indians so I can change them. I have been approached. I'm not going to say this in some big offers or anything, but many of these agencies who work with writers abroad, like they are saying, Chetan, would you like to do something in Hollywood? Would you like to collaborate in some projects? It's very exciting. I don't want to do it. It's not what it's that again the lure, which is not correct. It's not my goal. What will I do? I can maybe make Americans laugh. I've worked in American companies, but it's not what I want to do. You know, it's so I don't think Indian foreign matters to me. But I agree with you that if it's foreign approved, thoda better लगता है यहाँ पे हमें अच्छा लगता है.
Okay, I'm just trying to.
You wanted to, yeah.
I'm just running out of time.
Yeah, I
just
know.
quickly trying to put you in a box, as we say here. No long explanations, no diplomatic answers. It has to be 4 or 5 words maximum.
Okay.
We want to know where you stand on some issues.
Okay.
Politics.
Just, good politics. I mean, what can I say? Good politics.
Chetan
Politics
in
are
politics.
progress.
Chetan in politics.
Chetan in politics. What do you think? Yes or no? No. Okay, yes, raise your hands, yes. And no, raise your hands. So, they are saying don't go.
If that changes, you
and
change?
that is Kolkata, where it's so politically, charged up place. But if you go to Mumbai, they'll be like, what is politics? In Mumbai, they'll be like, what is politics? Sorry, you doing a movie on politics? Yeah, okay.
Sex.
What am I supposed to say?
बोलना ये करना थोड़ा ही था.
I think let's reset our standards of morality, taking the youth into account. We are very traditional, and it's a society that doesn't even like to talk about sex. Every column I wrote, let's talk about sex. I was just saying, if we don't talk about issues relating to sex openly, we will never be able to make good laws for rape or consent laws. And that was a whole article was on that. And the comments are like, the people like, Chetan is promoting sex, huh? Hey, my best friend met me for lunch that day. Or, kya, you want people to have more sex? I think I am writing, please, let's talk about these issues. आप सेक्स को प्रमोट कर रहे हो. मैं प्रमोट कर रहा हूँ. वैसे कम हो रहा है जब मैं प्रमोट कर रहा हूँ.
Value system.
Most important in a society without values is bound to destroy itself, and we don't have Indian values. Like I said, we don't have Indian values for where we stand on sex, where we stand on women's rights. We don't know on corruption where we stand, what is correct. So that a lot of the problems are coming because there is no common values we have.
Finally, Amish Tripathi.
Budding writer. I think it's budding writer. I think it's vulgar to talk about money in public because that's not why I started writing. If I wanted to write, I wanted to make money, then I was working in the bank. And I will not, it's vulgar to make comparisons between writers as if we are marathon runners or it's a tennis players, who's number 1, who's number 2. It's not that. It's not competitive like that. Amish is doing a great job. When his first book came out, I went for his book launch. He called me. I went for Immortals. And I think, I don't know who's doing these kind of things. It's a new one. Jiski bhi book aati hai, sabko kehte hai, he is coming to upseat. There is no throne. There is nothing. We are just, if he's telling good stories, I'm telling good stories, and I think that's fine. In certain fields, there is competition. If we were both running 100-meter hurdles, then yes, you can do. Or if there are many others. But let's not get carried away. Let's stick to what riders are supposed to do. Don't make them into runners, because we are very bad runners.
Ladies and gentlemen, a huge round of applause for Chetan Bhagat.
Request Mr. Bhagat to please come on stage. A small token of appreciation to Chetan Bhagat, and can we please have another round of applause and a huge cheer. You've all had a great time and you owe him this.